Eversoul is the only idle game that I have ever played that made me want to actually play it, which feels contrary to its purpose. The point of an idle game is that you don't need to play it. It plays with itself. I mean, it plays itself. Eversoul is just such a free-to-play, friendly, highly rewarding, beautiful game, and that makes me want to play it, which I'll touch on a little later. Hey, my name is Stix and welcome back to the worst gacha ever, a video series where I discuss a gacha and tell you guys what I thought in explicit detail as we attempt to find the worst gacha ever. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell notification. That way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post every Sunday. Do not miss out. Now go grab a vanilla Coke, a nacho cheese bag of Doritos, and let's jump right in. Eversoul has been such an incredible change of pace for me. I love idle games. I never used to. I thought idle functionality, autoplay in games was a horrendous addition until I learned how easy it makes them to play and keep up with while doing daily activities. I can go on an hour-long walk and let them play in the background while listening to music. I can let them play while driving Mrs. Stix to and from work every day. But most importantly, progression is made even while you're not online. Take Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves as examples. You log off, and when you log back in, you're exactly where you left things. You go out and farm, and once you're done, you log off again ad nauseum. In idle games like Eversoul, you log off. When you log back in, you've accumulated enough resources to likely level multiple characters several times, making progression both manual and automatic. Logging in for 2 seconds per day allows you to accrue enough resources to progress beyond any type of content, allowing you to play 2 minutes per week or 2 hours. Thankfully, Eversoul is a gem in a coal mine. You begin being isekai'd into another world by these two women about to make out. One's like a god or something, and the other the queen of a nation full of hot, scantily clad women who are also all yours. If you've ever wanted a hot harem of non-androids, then this right here is where it's at, man. Seriously, just take a look at some of these characters. Sakuya is a goddess. Honglan is definitely hung quite well. Where I leaves me wondering where I should be looking when she's in front of me. Oh my god, these are actually hilarious. I'm hysterical. Rereading these is absolutely, I can't read these with a straight face. I'm just hilarious. Daphne looks very different to what she looked like when I used to watch Scooby-Doo. No joke, like this is absolute perfection if I've ever seen it. While we're here though, let me just note, Eversoul provided me the vast majority of these characters entirely free. For real, I was given dozens of free max rarity units completely free. I'm stressing this, free, repeatedly, reiterating this over and over again, because they provide this to everyone just by logging in and playing the game. I've never seen a gacha game do this. I'm not sure if it's because you need dupes to make these units worthwhile, so many dupes really, or they're just really dedicated to allowing players to utilize every one of their creations. Additionally, I think I've been given approximately 80,000 free gems, literally just logging in for the month I've been playing. You're given excess amounts of premium currency for it, and I'm not exaggerating here, literally just existing. These devs, they know how to reward their players for playing their game, and I cannot stress how appreciative I am of this. Because of all of these premium gems I was given, I upgraded Sakuya numerous times, and she is exponentially more powerful than any other character that I possess. The longer you play, the more characters you'll be able to upgrade, which in theory should be the case for every gacha game, but sadly that's just not true. Your characters are gated from leveling beyond their ascension status. Every upgrade allows you to break through your limitations and ascend to higher levels. I honestly don't like the significant focus Ascension has in this game, but thankfully you can level sync your main party and just ascend to weaker, more common characters. Leveling your characters requires 3 resources: mana crystals, mana dust, and gold. All of these are acquired passively over time by simply playing the game. You collect this via the battlefront, events, or via the adventure mode, which we'll touch on in a little bit. Keepsakes are pieces of gear that you can farm that act like artifacts in Genshin Impact or echoes in Wuthering Waves. They provide raw boosts to a variety of different stats, and offer a set bonus that rewards you for matching pieces from the same set. These are enhanceable, but they cost quite a bit of gold that could and should be used for individual character leveling. Sadly, I did not realize this in time and instead leveled a ton of keepsakes, wasting gold I could have used for character leveling. Suffice it to say, my week was ruined. Every character has their own individual skill and ultimate ability. There are costumes you can buy or earn. Each character belongs to one of several different factions: human, beast, fairy, undead, angel, demon, or chaos, but function essentially like elements. Fire beats grass, which beats water, which beats earth, which beats fire. Typical Pokemon elemental system. Angel beats demon in chaos, while demon beats angel in chaos. You ascend characters via the ascension system using dupes, one or more at a time to increase their rarity, which in turn increases their overall power and level cap. Unfortunately, at the time of this video going live, I have not cleared Chapter 8 to unlock the Arc Enhance. Level Sync allows you to insert several characters and sync them to the lowest level of your 5 highest characters. This allows you to overcome the inadequacies of using rare characters. You can release souls if you end up with too many waifus, which is apparently possible in this world, and for a price you can reset characters. There's a Zodiac system present, which acts as a type of permanent passive buff to all of your souls. Evidently, there is an abundance of methods with which to increase the overall power of your characters, for better or for worse. The bulk of the game, however, takes place in 3 separate areas. Let's begin with the battlefront. The battlefront is the main form of gameplay. You progress through numerous chapters, each chapter being a single fight against a wave of monsters specific to the chapter and the region that you're in. These are relatively simple, the main difficulty coming from being unleveled or using weak characters. As you progress, your loot continues to improve. You log in and, well, for the lack of a better way of phrasing this really, you loot your loot. This includes a ton of goodies that are imperative to your continued success. Combat is relatively simple. It's auto, with the exception of abilities and ultimates. You can either time them appropriately, or you can let the AI handle that too. For the most part, letting the AI handle all aspects of the gameplay is of absolutely no consequence whatsoever. But when battles get a little tough, getting a little physical with your waifus is never a bad thing. Now let's talk the adventure mode. Challenge has 2 game modes: Gate Breakthrough and Decoy Operation. Gate Breakthrough allows you to farm a lot of resources, including Everstones, which will aid you significantly in terms of progress. There are 5 gates in total. Decoy Operation is another farmable mode, allowing you to select one of several options to focus on for the day. Dungeons feature the Dimensional Labyrinth, which has you progress through numerous different fights, acquiring buffs after each fight, looting treasure along the way, with the ultimate goal being to clear the floor and defeat the boss between you and the exit. Unfortunately, I have not unlocked the Hall of Memories at present. The arena is simple. It's your AI controlled team versus another AI controlled team. I hate AI PvP in gacha games, and it's no different here. Fortunately, unfortunately, yeah, it's depressing even. I have not unlocked the Champions Arena yet. The raid section is pretty fun, at least from what I've experienced. Evil Soul Subjugation is a large boss fight where you deploy a ton of characters and attempt to overcome it. Sadly, I never got to engage the world boss or do a guild raid. Unfortunately, no matter how I tried, I never saw the option to engage in either of the special mission modes, which was kind of disappointing for me. A lot of modes do seem to be locked behind higher chapters that admittedly take quite a bit of time to unlock. There's a functional town system present, which gives you the option of fully manually playing the game. Honestly, a rather contrasting difference comparatively to Eversoul's core gameplay loop, which is idle autoplay. You can essentially build up a town, which is pretty sick. You can place down buildings, you can put characters to work, you can clear out monsters, you can visit neighboring towns, go on dates. Yeah, that one actually took me a little by surprise. And it provides numerous beneficial effects. While not a core focus, it's still a very fun little side activity that functions similarly to a base or a dorm or a room. The third part of the game takes place in the stories section. Outside of the intro, the story of Eversoul is completely disconnected from the rest of the game, kind of like in Blue Archive. The main story has several chapters, 9 at the time of this video, with each chapter possessing a different focus and rewarding you with summon tickets for clearing. You manually control your character as you roll around an instant zone, playing through the story and engaging enemies. It's entirely manual, which once more is very strange for an auto game, but I kind of like it. There's a love story where you can play out romantic stories with different characters. This one took me a little by surprise. Event story dedicated to events, soul story with a focus on specific characters, the Tower of Origin, and then just a bunch of other stories connected to every other game mode present. It's honestly very overwhelming, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume the vast majority of you are like me and are going to overlook a lot of it anyway, since it can get a little bit tedious at times. I do like the disconnected story though, as it does allow me to watch the story when I'm bored, otherwise just focus on clearing content. Now let's talk the gacha. As noted, you are given a significant portion of currency by playing the game as part of the events. I've earned over 80,000 gems in a month, which allowed me to upgrade quite extensively a single character without concern. There are 5 types of banners: limited, normal, type, friendship, and artifact. Summons cost 2,100 Everstones or 10 tickets. You can do a single free pull daily. Rates are pretty high, surprisingly, with epic quality characters having a 4% chance of acquisition. Pity for normal summons is set to 30, meaning you receive an epic quality hero every 30 pulls. Limited banners give you a free 10 pull at 40 pulls with a pity at 80. But with the free 10 pull, it's essentially pity at 70. Type summons require their own special currency, featured the same rates as normal banners, but only feature characters of the associated type. Friendship summons cost 100 friendship points, but unlike most games which have the rates for pulls, has the exact same rate of 4%, which is incredibly generous. Artifact summons require their own special currency as well, but provide you with, well, I'm sure you guessed, artifacts. You can also obtain a guaranteed epic if you use 2,100 paid premium gems. Oh, did I mention you have infinite rerolls when beginning the game? Yeah. Evidently, Eversoul is an astonishingly enjoyable gacha game that provides you so much more than the vast majority of its competitors. This is an absolute gem of a game. Now let's break down my rating. Content 10 out of 10. There is so much to do, which took me by surprise given that this is an idle game. A significant number of game modes, manual play, story, events. You are never ever bored. Difficulty 5 out of 10. From what I played, the game never got difficult, but for an idle game, that's probably a good thing. Free to play friendliness, 10 out of 10. Infinite rerolls, 80,000 gems when starting the game, dozens of free max rarity units, same rates across all banners, free 10 pulls during limited banners, daily free pulls. They literally could not be any more generous if they tried. Gameplay is 7 out of 10. Honestly, I was surprised by how much manual play was present in an auto game and how much fun it was to utilize. Graphics 7 out of 10. Characters, they're stunning. There were no chibi characters during battle. The environments were bright and vibrant. The abilities looked fantastic. Sound, 4 out of 10. Sadly, I think this is probably the only area I rated under 5, but I never heard anything that really captivated me. Story 7 out of 10. This was great. There's a lot of story and even more side story and character story content. Voice acting 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. No complaints at all. World, 8 out of 10. Since so much of the world was fleshed out, the town, the battlefronts, the story areas, the game felt alive, it felt full of life. I was genuinely impressed. Fun, 8 out of 10. I had an absolute blast playing both manually and also logging in each day, just upgrading my characters. This is a great game to play casually. Overall, I'd give this 73 generous devs out of 100 really greedy ones, or 7.3 out of 10. This was a really fun game, and I cannot express how much I genuinely do appreciate the devs' generosity. Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna wanna.